Milwaukee has. So let's just go player for player. Let's just do it. KD and Giannis, do you think there's a big gap there?
Nick, as good as their roster is, Nick, we know they wouldn't be there if the Nets was healthy. Stop it. Come on now.
Okay, hold on. So just then that's fine, but let's just go person for person. KD and Giannis, do you think there's a big gap there between the two? Do you?
It's a gap. It's not a big one, but it's the gap. KD's the best player in the world.
Okay, I would disagree, but that's fine. I think a lot of people agree with you. Middleton, you just called one of the best closers in basketball. James Harden, second best player on the Nets, is his biggest weakness is end of game and postseason stuff. Kyrie has been healthy at the end. You said if they're healthy, Kyrie's been healthy at the end of the playoffs twice in his career, but let's just say he's going to be healthy. Drew Holiday, because of you called the best defensive guard in the league. Kyrie's a great offensive guard. And then after that, you said Brook Lopez. I guess for the Nets, that's Claxton. I personally would rather have Bobby Portis than Joe Harris. Why would the Bucks, after this, not be the favorites in the East?
James Harden is one of the best scorers we've seen in a long time. Middleton is not that. Kyrie has the biggest bag and one of the best offensive players we've seen and has the most, can score in any way. Drew Holiday is not that. Yeah, he's a great defender, but you can't stop Kyrie every game. So as a basketball player, knowing what it takes to win games, if Brooklyn wasn't hurt, we wouldn't even be talking about Milwaukee. That's just the truth.
Listen, all right, man. Listen, as a former player, I want to celebrate the Bucks, man. Great job to the Bucks. You know, next year, you already hit it, Jack.
No,
we know what it is. The Brooklyn Nets, they stay healthy. They're going to be right where they need to be. Jack is correct. Come on, man. There ain't too much scoring power over there in Brooklyn. Nobody can stop them if they're healthy. But the Bucks did a phenomenal job. They took advantage of their opportunity. War of attrition. They stay healthy. Giannis magically bounced back from this hyperextended knee. But there you go right there. Y'all want to talk about this? Go ahead. Y'all talk about the Nets. Y'all know what it's too soon. It's wild. It's too soon for me to talk about James Harden. It's too soon for me to talk about Kevin Durant. It's too soon for me to talk about Kyrie Irving. The sweet Kyrie Irving. It's too soon. So, Wilds, you look, great job to the Bucks. That's what I'll say. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, all right. You saying that you want you trying to bake in your Nets takes around some Bucks compliments. A fine acting job.
Right, I tried.
All right, Stack, I want to talk about the Giannis and KD. Because there is a narrative that, you know, if KD was wearing a size 15 rather than a size 16 and hits that 3, we're not talking about Giannis. We're talking about KD, and we're not talking about Giannis sort of ascending above, or what some people think Giannis is now the best player in the league. Do you think, though, that, or how do you, when you're judging KD versus Giannis or Giannis versus LeBron, factor in an all-time great finals performance? Because I know that you've said in the past, like, you know, the stars do it at the big stage, and like your role players aren't going. It's not the job of the role players necessarily to like win the championship. You need the star to win the championship, and that's what we saw last night. So do you give, how much has Giannis ascended on your top 5 or all-time greatest players with the performance that we just saw in the finals?
All-time greatest, I really don't know yet. I think he's definitely at the top of the league. He's one of the best in the world for sure. But when you talk about Giannis and KD, you talk about Shaq and Tim Duncan. Giannis is dominant like Shaq, but he wasn't Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan was all over the court. Tim Duncan did everything. You know what I mean? So that's the best comparison I can make. Yes, like I said, Giannis is dominant just like Shaq, the most dominant I've seen in a long time. But as far as skill and winning and doing it all, I think KD is more like a Tim Duncan.
Yeah, except Giannis is the far better defender. I mean, Duncan was the best defender in basketball for a decade, and Giannis is far better. Like, this is where KD is more skilled than Giannis. Does that mean he's better? I don't know. I mean, I just saw Giannis do something that, Stack, he just averaged 35 and 13 in the finals on 60% shooting, and you're rolling your eyes like it's a crazy contention. Like, there was There was nothing Giannis could have done in these finals to change your opinion, because he absolutely played better than you thought he was going to. You didn't think he was going to go 40 twice in a row, have the block of the series, the oop of the series, and then a 50-point closeout game. So you had, like, your mind was made up. Your mind was made up that KD was better no matter what Giannis did, right?
Well, my mind wasn't made up. I just know he's better. Giannis is dominant. He dominated the paint. He hit his free throws for a change. Giannis was great. I'm not taking anything from him, but he's not KD. He's not a 7-footer that can shoot from half court. He's not a 7-footer that can cross over. He's not a 7-footer that can do all those things. So yeah, he's dominant. He's like Shaq. He can score in the paint and he can dunk on people. But as far as skill, no, he's not way more skilled than KD. It's not even close.
But it's not a skills competition. It's a scoring competition. It's about winning. There's like, if you run a business and you make some of the coolest gadgets and gizmos in the world, and I run a business and I make widgets
this is
that
basketball,
go in
Nick. This
machines.
is basketball. This is not tech world, Nick. This is basketball.
I get it. No, I understand, Stephen. What I'm saying is, if it's a competition, you are talking about how it looks and the flair. I am talking about the effectiveness. What's the argument that KD is more effective?
What's
the argument that he's more effective?
Did you not see Game 7? Did you not see Game 7 when they played Milwaukee?
Yeah, Giannis was better in Game 7. KD was better in Game 5. Giannis was better in Game 7. Giannis scored 40.
Giannis had all his teammates Game 7. KD almost won it by himself.
Yeah, okay. I understand that KD was undermanned. He only had Harden. He didn't have Kyrie. I get all of that.
And still almost
I understand that.
Almost won.
Yeah, but Stephen, you're the guy that has come on this show for years and said almost winning counts for nothing. That if you don't win, it's not remembered. That it's only about winning.
We're not talking about winning, right? We talk about Giannis and KD. KD is better.
But no. And then you just said, okay, listen, so there's nothing Giannis could do. Giannis could have scored 50 every game, but he doesn't have a bag.
It's a moment.
He doesn't have a hezzy Jimbo. He doesn't have a crossover. All that's in Giannis's bag is the championship ring.
Playing the game, Nick.
But that's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we do in professional sports as fans and as commentators. What we do is we lean into these moments too much. Let's look at the body of work. Giannis has been doing this for how long? Okay, yeah, I understand the last 3 years, what he's been doing. But we're talking about a series. Okay, great job.